Name is Josh Ruby from Mbu.ug, your entertainment source of every good thing in the news space. Entertainment, anything entertainment, music, fashion, lifestyle, gossip, and everything. That's Mbu.ug. Never look elsewhere. Of course, with me today is the man himself, A-Pass Alexander Bagonza. Oline Dala. You have another name?
Yeah. People call me the GOAT.
Of course, the GOAT.
Yes.
He's going to be talking to us about so many things. But of course, to start with, I would like to know your last song, the last song you released. It's been quite a while. It's been like 7 months.
Not 7 months, actually. Like if you're saying music, probably. If it's visuals, it's like 2 years.
It's like 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking about music, the
Yeah,
Musomesa
music,
song.
yeah, music.
What does it take for you to release a song, and why are they so spaced apart?
Lately, I feel like people just release music all the time, even if it's not classic. What I drop is classic music that even if it's 5 years have passed, you can still listen to it. I'm not trying to make cheap music. What you see out there is biscuit music. So I try as much as possible not to make disposable stuff. So sometimes you have to space it, but at the same time, you have to have a plan behind what you're releasing. Like I know what I want to release, and I know when to release it, and I know how I'm going to package it. So it takes time to actually analyze and look at what you want to do as an artist and form a base and an understanding of who you are and what you want to give to your fans, what they deserve, and what you think you're going to change. So if there is nothing for me to change, why would I release? I need to take my time. If I have music that will make a change, then I'll drop it. But as long as I'm not ready yet, there is no need to drop music.
Aren't you worried? Like other artists, actually, they often say, any space you leave in the... If you take a month or two without dropping a new track, you're going to be forgotten.
Yes.
Doesn't it affect you?
It doesn't affect me. It affects them because that's their problem. Just like you said. Personally, I've seen so many artists with all these kind of stuff. It's based on feeling small already. They already feel they are small. So when you feel you're small, you believe that you can only be appreciated when you have something out there. Even without anything out there, I believe I'm appreciated and respected. Why would I even feel small that I need to actually always have music for people to consider me as an artist? I should always put out songs for me to be relevant. People say out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. But I do not believe in that. I believe that what I create is substance, and it's necessary, and it's needed by the people. So for me, I'll do what is necessary for me. And when I come back, people will accept me because I've already accepted myself that I am big enough to come back at any time. I've done it before. I've done it before. I stopped releasing music in 2016, mid-2016 probably, with, I think it was Mariana, you know, and I came back in 2018. I came back in 2018. Which song did I come back with? I came back with Dida. It was one of the biggest songs, still one of the biggest songs. Yes, exactly. So what does that show you? I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. So if those people are not professional enough, they can always wrap their tail behind their legs and feel like if they don't release a song, they won't be appreciated in that moment. People like moments. I'm here for longevity.
And you do your things quite differently from the rest of the pack, but there is something that personally has been sort of, not disturbing, but I wonder, why are you so hard to get a hold of? And recently I was reading through your tweets and everything, you cancelled media interviews. You don't go to TV, you don't go to radio, you don't do interviews. And we've been actually, because it's Mbu, that's why we're here having this one. But why is it like that? Doesn't that affect your publicity?
First of all, I would love to thank Mbu because we've started together. You guys are my friends, and I know what you stand for. Most of our media guys, I don't know what they stand for. They have so much stuff to talk about which has nothing to do with the brand. They want you to talk about a next man's shoe. They want you to talk about a next man's car. They want you to talk about a next man's relationship. and I don't do men. So when I looked at all this stuff going on, I'm like, my G, why do you expect me to be on your interviews when I cannot offer what I should offer that could probably help a next artist be confident, be a little more focused on what they're doing? I said, you know what, let me take a break off actually doing interviews. Yeah. I don't want to be on the same channel, on the same platform where we are standing and discussing music issues with people who don't understand music. And they don't want to learn and know about music, but they act like as if they know the music. So they want to tell you about music when they shouldn't. They should be asking questions. And what I see is the people who know too much. And since you know too much, I don't need to be on your platform.
They already know too much.
Yeah, you already know, so why should I come? It's unnecessary. And why we're doing this is because of respect. There's no other reason as to why we're doing this. We're doing this because of purpose. But most of the times, when you look at the interviews, when you look at what the people ask, it's very childish. And we are growing up. Yeah. You know, some of us here are anticipating having kids. It's the dream. You know, we have big dreams, you know. We want to start our families and do stuff, you know. I don't want to be on the same show arguing issues with full figure. You know, it don't make sense.
Since you talked about family.
Yes.
Who was that disabled?
We haven't gotten the lady, but for me that's a dream. Trust me, like that's my dream. Like my wife probably will watch this at one stage and be like, she's lucky, because my wife will be so lucky to have me. I'm very special. So I don't know, the lady that is out there that's going to be my wife, you're very lucky. You have a man, all in one spoon. You have cocktail, you have juice, you have mango juice, you have grapefruit, whatever. You have all these things mixed up. So that's me. So the ladies out there can start shooting your shots and make sure you don't miss.
We thought you already taken, actually.
I'm not taken.
What about Martha K?
Martha K. Martha K is a very good friend. She's very nice and juicy, but she's not for me.
That's not your juice.
It's no longer my juice.
No longer?
Could have been before, but not now.
Not now. We've moved on.
No. I'm done with that.
What are the plans for, like, your family? You talked about raising a child.
Yeah.
What are the plans to expecting in how long?
Yeah, just expect the unexpected with me, because you never know. We can always plan, but God has different plans for us as well. You know, today, I never thought that at one stage I would be the artist I am. Yeah. You know, I never thought I would have the things I have in life, you know. But I'm very thankful and grateful that I'm at this stage. And I know I cannot say, oh, I know that this is going to happen soon, or that is going to happen on that day or on this day. I believe what will be will always be. I can only anticipate that I would love my life to be a certain way. I want to be a better understanding person. I want to never lose love within myself, because that's why I do music. That's why I do whatever I do, the funny stuff. It's because I love people. And I never want to lose that. That's the most important thing, because that's the fundamental part of who I am as an individual. So for me, I never want to lose that. If I lose love, I've lost everything. So I hope I keep the love. So many of these things are just going to fall in place. Whether next month, whether the month after, whatever it is, it will just fall in place.
Yeah, and 2020, COVID happened. But just before the lockdown, you shut down Roast and Rhyme.
Yes.
I was there. I enjoyed a good time.
Thank you.
And for me, I think I've watched you perform a couple of times, but that day it was quite different from the way you understand. I don't know. I think you've performed with that band before.
Yeah.
You guys understood each other, but you could take us through that experience. How did it feel? What was going through your mind when you stepped on that stage?
To be honest, before you step on stage, there's a little nervousness. Like, you're like, will I lose my voice?
And it was
will
a big crowd.
Will I do too much? Exactly. It's a big crowd. You have to remember every single line. And most of my songs are technical. I do not have songs like so many of my fellow artists. My fellow artists don't have technical songs. My songs are too technical. So since the songs are too technical to a certain extent, you find that you have to always remember every line. Because you're looking at songs like Chupa Kuchupa, they have like 4 verses. Just imagine if you're on verse 1 and instead of going to verse 2, you go to verse 3. You know? So much is running through your head, but at the same time, you have to be cool and composed and know that your mind is capable of remembering all this stuff. So for me personally, when I stepped on that stage, it was beautiful. First of all, it showed me a lot. Whenever I look back, I'm like, yes, I'm improving on my stage performance and stage presence, because that's one of the parts that has been weak in my music journey, to be honest, because it's not easy to actually perform on stage. It's not the easiest thing, because you're thinking about a lot of things. You're saying, okay, I'm going to make this dance move, but what if people don't like it? I'm going to do this, but what if that? But I lost myself. I said, let's just be myself. Let me just do my thing. Let me have my swag. Let me move how I have to move. And I think it's one of the few shows where I was very, very composed and comfortable with the show. Besides the shows I also do, like outside Uganda, like let's say in the UK, a couple of shows I've done. But I felt the love in the audience, and I also kept myself composed. And that experience was amazing. I thank the guys at Swangs for Roast and Rhyme. I think what the platform is amazing, first of all. It's very good to showcase people singing live. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Singing live is like creating music in studio. But on the next level, you have to sing everything. And it's back to back, song pan song. You're hearing, let's say you hear like one of the instruments that excites you the most is not put up above for you to hear it. Well, you can't hear it, but you still have to perform.
You have to go.
So yeah, the stage, you have to go on. So it's crazy being on stage. It's really crazy being on stage, but it's amazing. The vibe that you get and the energy to sing for people, because music is a service. So serving people, for me, I feel like it's really special, and it brings a certain energy. After leaving the stage, coming into the fans, saying hello to them, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. For me, the experience was amazing.
Yeah, and that same day you performed before you, Azawi performed as well. And that was her very first performance since coming to music.
Yes.
I think she did well.
Yes.
Of course, I would like to know, what does a platform like Roast and Rhyme, that big stage, family day, so many people up to like where the lake starts from, what do these kind of concerts add to an artist? For example, a new artist like Azawi was at the time.
Yes.
What do they learn from it? What impact is it to the artist?
For me, in my understanding, I think it's an eye-opener for the artist to see the magnitude and the level at which they have to perform. Because you're going to see other people who have done it, you know? You're going to see other people who have done it, and you're going to look at yourself and see what you've done as well. And say, you know what, this is what I'm meant for, or this is what I'm not meant for. Because it just gives you an understanding. Being on stage is crazy for a young artist, because I know what it means to be a young artist going on stage, and you're new, you've never done it.
And there are thousands of people.
And there are so many people, some don't know you.
Yeah.
You know, they're not so excited as much as you think they should, because they don't know you yet.
Yeah.
You know, your name is okay, buzzing, but they don't really know you that much. But it's crazy. But having that, I think for Azawi is beautiful, because she's under good management, first of all. Those people know what they're doing. And on top of that, she's grounded and she loves music. So it's an opportunity. It was an opportunity for her. I hope to see her on the next Roast and Rhyme, you know, just to see her perform all her songs, because most of her music is amazing to me. I've had the chance to be part of her album, and I've seen how she loves music and the energy she has in studios. She's beautiful. And for me, I believe every young artist who gets on that stage should be very thankful. Let them not look at the money, let them look at the experience and what they can actually extract from that show, the energy, the footage, and all that. Just to look back and say, okay, I should have improved here before I got on stage. Oh, I didn't improve on that part, but that's a part I want to look at. This is what I want to look at. I think it's a very good place to go to evaluate yourself, but it's also a very big platform which can actually put you down. But you should never be put down. It's all lessons. You don't lose, you learn.
Personally, how do you prepare for a concert, for a show, for a performance?
For a performance?
How do you, because I've been close to a few artists, and man, what is it, the culture? They do different things.
They have
How,
rituals in a sense.
yes. How do you prepare your performance?
Me, I'm always listening to the songs I'm supposed to perform continuously. I have like a playlist of every song I'm going to perform, and I just listen to it continuously and sing, because repetition helps you remember every line. If you don't repeat this stuff, it can be crazy. You get on stage and you forget words. Yeah. You start telling people, "Banange muyimbe, sing, people sing." But it's you who has been paid to sing. It's not the people to sing, it's you. And for me, when I look at shows like that, there is a lot that you have to do. So for me as an artist, before I even think of going to stage, is to listen to the songs weeks before. Second thing is to actually have my mic, because I don't want to start complaining, saying, "Oh, they brought a fake mic here, this didn't work here, that did." Nah. Let me come with mine.
Oh, you go to stage with your own mic?
With my own mic.
That white mic?
Yeah, it's a golden one. It's a
gold, yes. Gold.
Yeah, golden one. So basically, that's what I would do. The other thing is that I make sure I do sound check. I make sure I do rehearsals, whether I have to do them at home and just go through the songs, whether I have to do rehearsals, let's say with a band, I make sure I don't skip any rehearsal, because it's important for you to be in sync with the band. The band will play something when they are going into a transition and you don't know it. You get caught off guard and start looking angas, like a dog that has dropped a metal. Translate that to Uganda. I don't know if you'll even manage. Those who don't know. So you don't really want to be in such a, you don't want to be in a predicament like that. But for me, looking at that, you need to look at all those things prior to the show. Make sure you do the rehearsals and make sure you do sound check and get your levels right. You'll get on the stage and start shouting for 2 songs, and the next 5 songs you've lost your voice. You can no longer sing. So you have to pace yourself, and that's another thing I had to learn. You know, and even talking to other artists like Dexter Daps, like so many artists talk to, and they tell you, man, just pace yourself. That's how you do it. Because you can sing and just go way above the level you should sing at, and you lose your voice and you won't be able to go through the whole performance. The voice is now done. So for me, I think that is one thing that artists have to look at a lot. Drink a lot of water. Have water, even if it's on stage. No, not the waraji, not all that. People don't need that. So many people think they need it, but they're destroying their voices.
Actually, yeah, you talk about that. So many artists say that I have to puff before I step on.
Yeah, they need to smoke some weed. They need to drink and get high.
For motivation.
It's not motivation. They lack confidence. And they should be confident within themselves. You don't need a drink to be confident. You need to look at yourself and make yourself more confident. You know, make yourself more confident. When I put on suits, because I love them, when I meet people in a nice suit, with a nice perfume, with a nice shoe, with a nice watch, that I don't miss much, my friend. Yeah. You know? Like the person looks at you and they're like, yes, this man. And you feel confident within yourself going to people when you're a certain way. And I think artists should prepare themselves that way, not prepare yourself by drinking. Yeah. Because you may forget your lyrics. Something will happen if you just really go off and then you don't know how and what to do. It becomes a problem. It's actually a bigger problem.
We've actually seen some of those performances.
Exactly. These things happen all the time. I see them even on some of the shows I go, and someone is just looking different. It's not them. They can't even sing their voice. They are very shaky. And you don't need that. You have to have a clear mind. So I think a lot of water is important for you. You drink, go on stage, have your energy, eat well. Go on stage and enjoy yourself. Have fun.
Awesome. That's APAS, the COVID, the lockdown. And a lot of artists, like so many challenges. How did you go through it?
In the challenges, in what form?
The challenges in terms of there were no more performances, first of all. Of course, the fans themselves used to go out and look for your song, probably hear it in a bar. They're no longer listening to it. They're not vibing to it that much. The Kampala nightlife is dead almost. for 2 years.
Yes.
And now we are out of it, but I would like to know, how did you go through it? How, of course, for you, mostly, most of your music is sold online.
Yes.
That is a known fact.
Yeah.
But for other artists,
Yeah.
it could have been trouble for them.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how did you go through it?
Thank you so much. If you had asked me about the other artists, I would tell you to ask them. But now that you're asking me, I'll tell you. Personally, yes, fine, I sell music online, which is beautiful. My music is registered with the ASCAP, so I get royalties as well. Whenever my music plays out there in the world, you know. I'm in movies like Queen of Katwe. I have 4 songs, so whenever the movie plays, I get paid. I do a little ads for marketing for companies. Some is for free. Most of it is for free. They don't pay me money.
Why don't I believe that?
You don't have to. You don't have to believe it, or you can believe it. It's up to you. That's your choice. So sometimes they give me a token of appreciation. They're like, okay, Apas, thank you so much.
Good
because
job.
most of these brands, I don't charge them money. Basically, they give me a token of appreciation because I love the brands. I love Jumia, you know. I really like it. I love Sam's. So I promote it because I love it. I love Middle East. I eat Middle Eastern food. So when I go get the food and I like it, I talk about it. So it's actually courtesy. So that's how I survived.
Producer.
That's how I survived. And that's how I survived. And on top of that, just having a clear mind. You know, most artists look at only singing.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very crazy way of looking at music. Because that can end. When you look at people like Jay-Z, when you look at Rihanna, 50 Cent, these people have done it even without music, they're still doing it. And look at Dr. Dre, Beats by Dre. This is a lesson. If you can't see that as a lesson, you have a problem. And for me, I've looked and I've seen what makes us actually fail is not to look at other avenues. You're going to look at music only, and it's going to be crazy. So I only survived because I just didn't look at the music. But I still used the music to get me a little money here and there to make sure that at least some things are going on.
You're one of the most expensive people to book that I know, and that's on record. What does it take anyway? Like, how do you price yourself? This is for the artist who could be watching this interview. Kuba omuntu agende onagamba, sawa bukadde busatu, will I perform? What criteria can be followed for the artists watching? How do they value themselves?
I believe every artist has to know their strength. And I market myself very well. And I look at my brand as something premium. I don't look at my brand like G-nuts that you can find on the road anywhere and just buy them. Bampeko jaribu, and they even give you jaribu. You get some small G-nuts here and you palm and eat some and say,
Choose them.
No. And you move away. No, that's not my kind of music. That's not my brand. I've made sure that my brand is solid in all aspects. Whether it's marketing, whether it's in the music itself, I make top class music. I don't want to play around. I'm A-pass, so it's A-class, you know? So there is no way I'm going to look at my brand cheap. There is no way. And I believe every artist should not look at their brand cheap. Because the moment you look at it cheap, other people are going to look at it cheap, even if it's expensive. Yeah. Even if it's like at that age, like it's up there, higher echelon. It won't be looked at like that. It's because you already have that bad energy towards yourself. So for me, I think self-esteem, look at your brand. Don't price yourself out of business. It's also important. You cannot just say, oh, give me 20 million. It will be hard here in Uganda. I'm telling you, they'll bring these Nigerian artists here to sing for more money than you, and you have more better songs. Yeah. And you say, give me 20 million. I'm the one who has a hit song. They say, okay, let's bring Spice Diana here, and so and so and so and so. Since you think you're big. And that's the problem. People can actually have other artists because there are so many artists in Uganda. Options. How do you make yourself the person that is needed? Like me, if someone wanted me on a show, they would want me. If they know they want A-pass, they know the kind of music they want. I have no substitute. I have no substitute. Even if it would go to marketing, I have no one can do what I do. They can try. They can't be consistent. Because I don't think about what I do. I am just what I do. So in the end, make sure you're unique. That when you ask for whatever you ask for, they're like, okay, because this is the problem we want. You should be the problem they want. If you're not the problem they want, now you have a problem. So look at your brand. For me, I think pricing should come with how you look at yourself, and it should come with how best you do what you do. Because if you're needed, then probably people will want you, and they will really want you. They won't want a substitute.
So then, because somebody must be asking themselves, he's talking of branding, we are talking of packaging, music, and the personality as well. What are the top things an artist can look at and say, okay, I'm starting to brand myself. This is it. It could be how you dress. It could be. What are the things they can look at?
First of all, like yesterday, I was seated here with Mbu.ug. He's like my little brother. And we were talking. But Mbu.ug looks really nice. You know, he's a handsome guy, and he dresses up right. You get me? Yeah. Bini has organized himself as an artist to look a certain way. He looks classy. If you look at his whole Instagram, you know what he's about. Yeah. There's nothing random about what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. People should look at that. It is as simple. I should not even tell you 1,000 things. You look at people. Go on a page of Michael Jackson. Go on a page of, let's say, Nelly. Go on a page of 50 Cent. See, what does 50 Cent post? Funny stuff. His movies. Trolling people. Yeah. At least you have an image of what that man is all about. What are you all about? That is the question. So I won't answer you. I've given you a question. Yeah. You know? It's just a question, like, what are you all about? Be all about what you're all about. It's the same stuff. I talked to a friend of mine, he's called Bruno. Bruno K. Bruno K came to me way back. I told him, Bruno, man, there's nothing rocket science about social media and all this stuff to grow your following. You just have to be yourself. Look at the things you love, talk about them. Okay, you're a Man U fan. Talk about football sometimes. You're not going to talk about music all the time.
Talk about how they lose all the time.
Yes, exactly. Have you seen DJ Kapi and her Twitter stuff all the time with... you know, he wanted to get me out of shape. You want me to get mad? I won't.
But you're losing games. You're losing game in, game out.
Yes, we're losing. It's okay. But we are learning. So we're also learning. You know, when Man U loses, I'll be honest with you, we're playing a match very soon. But I believe football should be enjoyed. Like, I also sit down sometimes and watch Arsenal and watch Saka and watch Martinelli. These kids are really nice.
Very nice.
Play nice football. I enjoy football. I'm not that kind of fan. Oh, I don't like Chelsea. Oh, I don't like Man City. No, I don't have that. I'm focused on Man U, but I can also watch these matches and enjoy what they are doing. But I am a focused Man U fan. I'm not that Man U fan who says, oh, Ronaldo went to Real Madrid. I'm a fan of Real Madrid. I've never been and I will never be. I'm a Man U fan and I support Uganda as well. Those are my two,
and the local
clubs.
Team? Eh? The local club?
The what?
Do you have a local club?
No, a local club I don't, because I've not invested as much time to understand the football. I would rather, if I get a chance and start moving around, let's say I'm an ambassador of a team, I probably would know. But at the moment, with the schedule and whatever we have to do, sometimes you don't get a chance to even watch. Okay. I don't even know the channels where they actually show those matches. If the channel was there and I knew everything about it, I would love to watch that. Because I love football. I don't care which team is playing. I just want to see how the teams are playing. I'm a fan, so I'm probably a fan of every local club, whether it's Villa, whether it's Police, whatever. Okay. I'm a fan. I may not know all the players. I know some of my friends who play for the national team, but I don't know all the clubs.
All right. Back to the music. Ugandan music versus the rest of the world. There's been that kind of war in the recent years. I think the past, even 10 years, I think. Nigerian music getting the upper hand in terms of course, like you already said. We go to a concert, there's an Omale, there's a Thames, and then
Yeah.
a pack of like 20 Ugandan artists. But even those 20 Ugandan artists, the money given to them can't be, it's not enough to be given to.
Even when you put it together,
yeah,
it's not half of the money they gave the
give
artists who came to Uganda.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
what's your say on that?
I think that is a problem of promoters. The promoters bring artists that they think people like. And let's say they are going, let's say the last artist who was here was, the last two artists.
The last two artists.
Chike,
Chike
we had also Ruga.
Yeah.
These are amazing artists. They're African artists, they are brothers. And it's special for them to come. Only thing is that Ugandan artists have to be respected as well, to be given at least the same level of hype, the same level of vibe, and good money for their performances. But we belittle ourselves too much. And I think that is one of our biggest problems, is that the artists are not given as much as they should be given because they are Ugandan. Just imagine if you were a kid and you lived at your parents' home. Anything they cook, you eat. If your brother left home and he only comes once in a while, when he comes on that special day, they start preparing chicken. Yeah. They start preparing all these things because the person is not always there. So they give him all this crazy service, which is special. But for you, because you're always home, they kind of forget you. That is what we experience when it comes to the shows, yeah. Those shows. But it's fine for those people to make those shows. We have to get to a stage as Ugandan artists where we make our own shows as artists and say, fuck the promoters.
But someone makes an argument, a pass, of saying you're not you, but the local artists are not worthy that money. Why would I give an artist, okay, I'm not going to mention names, but the music you give, the branding around you, everything, the whole package is not worthy $2
Yes.
But I can give it to Ruga because even without meeting him, I've seen him on TV, I've followed him on social media, the package is worthy, the music is worthy. So does that argument, does it count?
It kind of does, but it also doesn't. The point is this. Let's be honest. If you brought Beyonce, you wouldn't pay me the same amount as Beyonce. Let's be honest. Yeah. Because we're looking at the levels. You get me? Ruga is more international than any artist in Uganda at the moment. Yeah. So they can be paid what they ask for because you want them. If I am called in Nigeria and they ask me how much money, I will say my money. Maybe March, the Nigerian artists may be mad if they found out. But that's what I asked for. I think we get what we negotiate. And I think artists need to negotiate better. It's very important. If we don't negotiate well, we will complain. We'll always feel hard done. We'll always feel like we don't get what we deserve. But on top of that, let's make our own shows. Because if we ever make our own shows at one stage, and it's the artist by the artists, you go, you make all the money on the show. So it's not you being paid to come on the show, but you are putting up the show, you are marketing it, and the people are coming, and the gate fee is yours. You probably get maybe 30 million or 40 on a show, instead of getting 5 million or 3 for you being called on a show. So it's up to you. You get to a stage and say, I'm going to do this myself. You've seen Kanye West with his sound system. Yeah. I think it's called the STEM, something like that. And that's where he's putting he's Donda too. Yeah. You know?
His own platform.
His own platform. And he will make more money than he has made on streaming platforms because they give you peanuts. They say every Miko makes a Nico, but whatever that is not as much. So if you get to a stage where you feel like you're hard done, find a solution. Me complaining about a Nigerian artist is not going to help me. Me complaining with promoters, they've not done enough to give us enough and this is not going to help. It's not going to change the situation. The situation is going to change by default. And that is what has to be done for the situation to change by default. But if we think we're going to complain, I do not think we're going to get
And then in the
it.
same context, Uganda and Nigeria, if you looked at iTunes, top, let me say 100 songs, there's little, even Ugandan playlist, there's little Ugandan music. Of course, there's been an argument as well of DJs playing more Nigerian music versus
that's
Ugandan
true.
music. But this is my own perception. I'm not going to force myself to love a Ugandan song. I am Ugandan. I would love to support A-Pass and listen to all his songs every day. But I'm not going to force myself to do that. There's music that you enjoy. There's music that you turn on once and then you enjoy it.
Yes.
And I feel like that's for most of these Nigerian songs. And that's why if you go to iTunes, there's more Nigerian, Ghanaian music, or even Jamaican.
Yes.
Less Ugandan music.
Yes.
How do we solve that puzzle?
I don't think you can solve that because people like what they like.
Exactly.
You're not going to force people to like your music because you want them to like it by force. It's like me. I can't come and say by force people should support me. Those who do, I don't do music for everyone. I do it for those who get it. So if you get Nigerian music, enjoy that.
Okay.
Those who get A-Pass music will get that. Okay, and they will support it, and they will tell other people about my music, and I'll get big. As long as I'm moving step by step to be a better artist, well and good. Complaints, as we've said, like, okay, that would run into complaining, because if you want to solve that, you would only solve it with complaining. Saying, oh, because how do you do that? You go to everyone's house and say, please don't listen to Nigerian music. You go to everyone's house and say, oh, please don't listen to this Jamaican song. You can't do that. You can't even do it to me. Yeah. I can't be forced to listen to music that you want, that I don't like. You get the point? Like the music I listen to, majority of it is not Ugandan music. No, it is not. That's the truth. Yeah. But I listen to too much Ugandan music because it plays everywhere. We could complain here, say Ugandan music doesn't play, but Ugandan music still plays. It's just that we probably don't release too much music. And the world has so much music, there's so much social media, so many new tunes are coming out, so DJs are getting everything. But I only pray that DJs increase a little on the number of songs they play that are Ugandan, because that gives us the identity that we are living in Uganda. But you'd go to a club and think that you are living in a different country. And I think that does not help the culture. You know, we are going to borrow too much culture that we don't have our own culture. I think it's important to also have our own stuff, you know, and we celebrate each other, but it shouldn't be by force. You know, you can't force people into supporting you. You can't force people into liking things they don't like. You can't force people into loving you. You tell a girl, me, I love you. She tells you, you are not the one. I say, no, I'm the one. I just don't think that makes sense. So for me, I can only say, let's improve on our quality. Let's improve on our videos. Let's improve on our marketing. Let's make sure that we can also get into Ghana. I want to go there. I would love to go to Nigeria and see how these people work and how they do their thing, you know, just for understanding. And I think that's what we should do. We should do more research on what makes those people tick and what makes their stuff move, so that we apply it this side and also be better. But as long as we are thinking of complaining, I just don't think that makes sense. We should only mirror and emulate what those people are doing and try to do it outside, and hopefully we'll get there.
Perfect. As we close this interview, of course, I would like to know from your side of things, what's the impact of social media? I'm talking about TikTok, YouTube, and the likes in Ugandan music. How can we best use these platforms to push Ugandan music to the global stage?
I believe the platforms are already doing it by default. So many people love music, so you see most of TikTok has a lot of music-oriented stuff, if you look at it. You're seeing reels, music-oriented.
Actually, in the last 2 years, there's been songs that it plays once and all you think is of a TikTok challenge.
Exactly. So it brings you to that kind of energy. Just imagine if Dida was in a time of TikTok. It would be crazy. You get me? But it wasn't. You know, but it only shows you that these platforms are also helping. But they're also destroying, because people only know songs for 30 seconds, for 15 seconds, which is a very big problem. And it's shortening the span of listening to music to a bare minimum of 30 seconds to 15 to 20, you know, and that's a crazy thing if you look at it. But at the same time, I believe for those people who love music, they will find the music on TikTok and go find the song, Shazam it, then go find it, listen to the full song. So it helps to promote. And I think the more we put our music on such platforms, the more we engage with other people on those platforms, it will help our platforms grow, and it will also help the music grow. These applications should be used to actually, we should put them to use to be useful to us as artists, as creatives. And I think it's only right for us to use them right. And that's it. For me, I don't think we should use them to abuse people and all this kind of weird energy. I think the only way we can do it is by encouraging more people to be on the platforms, and hopefully even the government gets back to their senses and they remove all these funny taxes on the internet, unblock Facebook because they also use it, and say, kind of pretend that it's blocked and all that. I think that's stupid as well. And it's something they need to look at. I believe social media, we should be more social. It is not anti-social media, it is social media. We need to be as social as possible. We need to engage with one another. And I think that's the beauty. Social media helped me a lot to be an artist. Yeah, it did. I couldn't just go to DJs and meet every DJ. I put my music online. I promoted my music online.
And this is an urban age. We need to embrace this.
Yes, the digital age is an information age. So we have to use it like what it is, you know? We have to look at the mechanics of the age and deal with it the right way. If we don't do that, then what are we doing? So for me, I think we have an opportunity with platforms like that that are coming up and all that. I think it's beautiful.
Perfect. Alexander Bagonza, ladies and gentlemen. A-Pass is the name. Probably if you look at one of these cameras, you can give your last parting shots to the people watching. Mbu.ug.
Yo. Well, it's A-Pass in living color. Yeah, man. And I'm breathing. Yeah. It's like it's from the skies and it's going through the rays and it's beating down. It's like I'm breathing solar. Yeah. But anyway, I'm out here with no fear on Mbu. Mbu.
And that will be it from us. He says he has, this you will hear from Mbu for the first time. His new album is dropping anytime.
Any second.
But you'll be getting it anyway online. He will be letting us know more about this as days unfold. But 2022 rather, just tighten your seatbelts. We're going to be more closer to the artists. So if you're watching this, know that there's a lot coming up. And today we have A-Pass, tomorrow we have so many other people. And just stick to Mbu. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all those social media platforms. We did it. So from me, Joshua B, and A-Pass, and the whole crew behind the scenes, we sign out. We meet next time. Subscribe.